A lot of buzz about the federal government and its agencies cutting federal contracts in order to save money. So for those companies still hoping to secure a contract, it's probably a bit more competitive. Dick Griffin owns Arlington-based firm, the Griffin Method, whose experts help businesses secure federal contracts. And one way they do that, putting together proposal packages. So Dick, give us the details, how that works.
Well, thank you for having me, Mike.
Sure.
I appreciate this. Winning federal proposals is basically like playing football. You do a lot of research in advance, you do a lot of planning, then you have these few hours of execution, and then you do a lot of research about whether or not you can accomplish the job and still make money, or why you lost.
Is there one piece of advice you give to businesses about making an effective package proposal?
I think if there is one, there is no silver bullet, Mike. But the one most important thing about being a good federal contractor is in your bid, no bid decision. You have to pick the kinds of competitions that you have a chance to win. Now, the problem in the federal government is there's a huge number of opportunities being published every day. And a lot of contractors don't take the time to understand who it is in the federal government actually buys what they sell. And they need to spend a lot of time understanding which of these competitions are basically going to be in their sweet spot, because that's where they'll be competitive. And you're absolutely right. It's not just that the federal government is going to lose 30% of its defense budget in the next 3 years, or drop $500 billion from its domestic agencies in the next 2 years. The truth of the matter is, there's been a recession on, and a lot of the companies who hadn't previously considered doing business with the federal government are now hand in glove here. They are in it all the way. And just like the National Football League, the competition gets stiffer and stiffer when there's a lot more talent to draw from.
So it sounds like anyone applying for a job, you make your resume cater to the job and the job description and the hirer. In this situation, you want to make sure that your proposal package really fits the job description and the particular employer.
I think I'd say it a little differently than that. I think people who are in business have a very comfortable relationship to where their subject matter expertise is, and that expertise is where they have a saleable commodity or service. And the truth is, in the federal government, they need to be able to pick those kinds of opportunities where that's what the government's looking for. And a lot of companies are too eager to get involved, and they jump outside their level of comfort and compete in arenas where they're not as competitive as they could be.
Do you think subcontractors are necessary, and when should a business look into them?
I think subcontractors are absolutely necessary. I'm not the only one that thinks that. Northrop Grumman, all the big guys think the same thing. And the reason for that is because the government believes that a strong team of contractors distributes the risk of performance across different entities who have a vested interest in the success, not just the government taking the risk that way, and not just one contractor who may be subject to the winds and falls of other parts of the market. So if you have a number of very strong teammates competing, you have a much higher level of success, and subcontractors have a significant role there.
What do you and your employees specifically do for the clients you work with? Who are your clients?
Can't talk about my clients, sorry. But my clients are mainly businesses who are engaged in doing federal contracting or want to get engaged with federal contracting. They range from being Fortune 500 companies to your local address garage.
Can businesses really do this on their own, or do they need an expert who knows how to do the process? Is it possible?
I think it's the level of competition. And of course, if you're going to play in a more professional game, it helps if you have some professional help with those aspects that get you in the game. So there's room here for consultants in this business. But that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have a consultant for every phase of it. There are different levels, different ways of doing business in the federal government where you may not need a consultant as often or as in a significant role. But basically, you still got to win. And those people who, just like, I like the professional football, you might imagine, right? But just like the best coaches in the NFL are former players, the best contractors in our environment right now are former players. That means they came out of the Fed, they know their business, and they work in that vertical. So those consultants are the best way to go.
Some great insight, but we have to cut it off there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dick Griffin from the Arlington-based firm, the Griffin Method. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right.